The story begins in 1999 at a wedding chapel in El Paso, Texas. A woman in a wedding dress lies covered in blood on the floor. That woman is Beatrix Kiddo, a former assassin known by the code name Black Mamba. She was part of an elite group of assassins called the Deadly Viper Assassination Squad. In front of her stands Bill, the leader of the group, who was once her lover and the father of the child she is carrying. In a cold tone, Bill wipes Beatrix's face with a handkerchief bearing his name, then declares that what he is about to do is not sadistic, but masochistic. Beatrix tries to stop him by telling him that she is pregnant with his child. But Bill still pulls the trigger and shoots her in the head.
So, it's your baby. It's your baby.
For years later, Beatrix is still alive. She arrives driving a yellow and red truck labeled Pussy Wagon in front of a suburban house. When the door opens, she is face to face with Vernita Green, one of the people who attacked her at the chapel. Vernita was formerly a member of the Deadly Vipers with the code name Copperhead. Now, she lives as a housewife with her young daughter, Nikki. Without many words, Beatrix immediately attacks her, and a fierce fight ensues inside the house. While they are still fighting in the kitchen, a school bus arrives. Because Nikki is home, they quickly hide their weapons and pretend nothing is happening.
Mommy, I'm home. Hey, baby.
Vernita sends Nikki to her room, then tries to make peace. She offers coffee and tries to convince Beatrix that she has left her past behind. But Beatrix still wants revenge. They agree to finish the fight that night. But before night falls, Vernita tries to kill Beatrix first with a pistol hidden in a cereal box.
So I suppose it's a little late for an apology, huh?
I'm not gonna murder you in front of your child, okay?
Now, I have to fix Nikki's cereal.
Bill always said you were one of the best ladies he ever saw with an edged weapon.
Very funny!
That attempt fails, and Beatrix throws a knife into her chest, killing her. Nikki, who hears the commotion, appears in the kitchen and sees her mother lying lifeless. Beatrix apologizes and says that her mother deserved it. She gives Nikki the chance to seek revenge one day.
It's not my intention to do this in front of you. Your mother had it coming. For that, I'm sorry.
After that, Beatrix crosses Vernita's name off her revenge list. The story flashes back to 4 years earlier. Police arrive at the wedding chapel that was the scene of the massacre. 9 people are found dead, including the groom, the priest's wife, guests, and the pianist. The sheriff and his son investigate the crime scene and find that the bride, who was also shot, is still alive and pregnant. Because her identity is fake, the woman becomes known as the bride. She is taken to the hospital in a coma.
Man, it'd be a mad dog to see that goddamn good-looking gal like that in the head. You can tell she was pregnant. Cocksucker ain't dead.
At the hospital, Elle Driver arrives wearing a nurse uniform and her signature eye patch. Elle is also a member of the Deadly Vipers with the code name California Mountain Snake. She comes to inject poison into Beatrix's body, but Bill calls and cancels her mission. He believes killing a helpless person would ruin their reputation as professional assassins. Elle is furious, but she obeys Bill's orders and leaves.
I'm standing over her right now.
You all beat the hell out of that woman, but you didn't kill her.
Sick.
And I put a bullet in her head, but her heart just kept on beating. Come on home, honey.
Affirmative.
For years pass, and Beatrix is still in a coma. Suddenly, a mosquito bites her and she wakes up. In her memory, she sees the bullet that went through her head and immediately realizes her pregnancy is gone. She cries bitterly, and when she hears footsteps, she pretends to be asleep. A janitor enters with a truck driver and offers Beatrix's body to be raped for $75. When the man tries to approach her, the scene cuts to the man's corpse, covered in blood. Beatrix, still weak, attacked and killed him. She tries to stand but both of her legs are paralyzed. When the janitor returns, Beatrix hides behind the door and attacks him.
Hey, buddy, did you have yourself a good time, man? Where's Bill?
She steals the car keys labeled Pussy Wagon and drags her body in a wheelchair to the hospital basement parking lot. Inside the car, she begins training her legs again and prepares to carry out her revenge mission.
I could see the faces of the cunts who did this to me. Members all of the Deadly Viper and the dicks responsible. The first name on my death list, O-Ren Ishii, was the easiest to find.
The story introduces the next character, O-Ren Ishii. She is a member of the Deadly Vipers with the code name Cottonmouth. Through anime-style animation, it is shown that O-Ren witnessed the brutal murder of her parents by Yakuza members when she was 9 years old. She then avenged them by becoming a cold-blooded assassin at a young age. Because of her involvement in the attack on Beatrix, O-Ren becomes the next target. After regaining movement in her legs, Beatrix goes to Okinawa, Japan. She enters a sushi restaurant run by Hattori Hanzo, a legendary sword maker who has retired. At first, Hanzo appears as a friendly old man who loves to joke. But when Beatrix mentions she needs a Japanese sword, the atmosphere turns serious.
I came to see a man.
服部半蔵に一体何の用ですか?
切りたいネズミがいるから本当が必要で。
Oh. Right. You need Hattori Hanzo's stew.
Hanzo takes Beatrix to the attic where he stores the swords he made. He realizes Beatrix's target is Bill, his own student, and decides to make a new, best sword for her.
You like samurai swords. I like this one. 殺しの道具は作っておらん。引退しておる。置いてあるのは思い出の品として置いてあるだけのこと。
Then give me one of these.
These are not for sale. Why should I help you?
Because my vermin is a former student of yours. I didn't say sell me. I said give me.
刀を作るのには1ヶ月間に。
1 month later, he gives her the sword and calls it his finest creation.
これは私の最高傑作。殺す道具を再び作ってしまった。私がこれを作ったのは達観すれば行きなさい。
In Tokyo, O-Ren Ishii is now the leader of the Yakuza Council. She is accompanied by 3 key people: Sophie Fatale, her elegant right-hand woman, Gogo Yubari, a teenage psychopath girl with a spiked chain weapon, and Johnny M.O., the leader of the Crazy 88 squad dressed in all black and masked. In a meeting, a Yakuza member insults O-Ren because of her mixed blood. O-Ren immediately decapitates the man and warns the others never to underestimate her again.
One ticket to Tokyo, please.
Beatrix arrives in Tokyo wearing a bright yellow jumpsuit and riding a yellow sport motorcycle. She follows O-Ren to a fancy restaurant. there, she sneaks inside and launches a surprise attack. She cuts off Sophie Fatale's arm, then faces dozens of crazy 88 members in a brutal, bloody fight.
So, O-Ren, any more subordinates for me to kill?
Hi.
Beatrix fights mercilessly, defeating them one by one. Gogo becomes a very tough opponent and almost defeats Beatrix, but Beatrix kills her by stabbing her head with a table leg. After that, Beatrix defeats all the crazy 88 members. She leaves one person alive as a warning.
Except you, Sophie!
After extracting information from Sophie Fatale, Beatrix takes her to the hospital. She then faces O-Ren in a one-on-one duel in a snow-covered garden. O-Ren manages to wound Beatrix's back, but eventually, Beatrix slices off part of O-Ren's head. Before dying, O-Ren admits that the sword Beatrix used is indeed the work of Hattori Hanzo. Beatrix takes the severely wounded Sophie to the hospital, but first forces her to reveal the locations of the other Deadly Viper members and Bill's whereabouts. At the end of the story, Sophie is seen speaking with Bill. She admits she gave all the information to Beatrix out of fear of losing more body parts. She also reminds Bill that they will all be hunted down soon. Bill then asks one important question: does Beatrix know that her child is still alive?
We deserve to die.
To her last breath. Kill Bill, Volume 1 is not just a story of brutal revenge,
but also a sharp reflection on emotional wounds, loss, and the strength of will to survive. This film portrays how betrayal and violence can transform a person, but also shows that the desire to resolve the past can be a double-edged sword, liberating and destructive. The moral message is that revenge might bring momentary satisfaction, but deep emotional wounds do not always heal through retaliation. Sometimes, the hardest thing is not to strike back, but to let go. If you enjoyed this video, don't be shy, hit the like button, and if you disliked it, hit the dislike button twice just to be sure. You should watch the full movie. Thank you very much for watching.